And welcome to Talk FCB, and welcome back here to the channel, guys, and welcome to the match between Valencia and Barcelona, which tonight at Mestalla has finished Valencia 1, Barcelona 1. It is the fourth successive La Liga game now without a win. But tonight there was some positives, there's a few negatives in there as well, and I think from that game there is a lot to discuss from both sides of the coin. You know, following on from Wednesday, that phenomenal attitude and performance against Tottenham, how would we react to that? Today we saw a bit laboured performance. We saw as the game went on, it didn't quite happen for us. We are going to be breaking all that down and more. Sit back and enjoy if you can. Let's do this. And first of all, guys, as always, we are going to go through the lineup and exactly the sort of shape that we did show at Mestalla. And Valverde certainly elected to do something very similar to what we expected. Only one change from the team that beat Tottenham at Wembley on Wednesday. It was this man here, Thomas Vermaelen, who came in for Clement Longley. And I fully agreed with that. Go with the same sort of team and try and get the same sort of attitude. And I have to say, for the majority of this game, of course, we're going to talk about the early goal that we conceded, but we came back strong. We did have, for the majority of this game, full control of it. We did dominate territorially. We spent a lot of time in the half of Valencia, and we did try and put a lot of passes together, particularly in this midfield area here. I thought Arthur, he maybe wasn't as, phenomenal as he was at Wembley, but I still thought he played well. There was a few loose balls from the side of Rakitic. Semedo got up and down when he could, and I think too much play really went down this left-hand side with Coutinho and with Jordi Alba. Far too many times we tried to play over that side, and it simply didn't work out between the two of them, maybe as well as it did at Wembley on Wednesday. But I think most of all, really, we saw tonight two good teams matching up against each other. Valencia are at home, their fans are fully behind them. They went with the 4-4-2 formation, and when we were defending, we also went with the structure of the 4-4-2. A lot of the time we'd see Coutinho drop in here on this left-hand side and drop back into a left midfield position with Suarez all on his own and Messi dropping in, and I think at times it was simply one cancelling out the other, and that's pretty much what we saw across the 90 minutes. But of course, like I say, I do absolutely have to address that opening goal from Ezequiel Garay, and it was an absolute nightmare start, and it was basically what we did to Tottenham on Wednesday evening. You look at that game, Hugo Lloris charges out of his goal, Coutinho scores really early on, and then we've got the good attitude, we've got the momentum. This time round, we concede early, we go behind, we give ourselves a mountain to climb, and it is a really basic error. When we concede goals away from home and they're perfectly worked, maybe they're fantastic finishes, you've got to say, fantastic goal. They are the home team, they've taken it on, it's a great goal. But this was not a good goal. It's a basic corner kick, you've got to defend them, you've got to basically stand up, get the ball away, head it clear. And what Gerard Piqué is thinking, I have got absolutely no idea. What is going through his mind as that ball comes in? Yes, he's sort of stooping down to head the ball a bit lower, but that's not just a stoop. That right there is a duck from Gerard Piqué. He is ducking there as a centre-back, as a leader. You cannot do that. Not in your own area when you've got to be defending that ball, putting your neck on the line to get that clear. We didn't want it enough in those opening 2 minutes, and we went behind. Garay gambles, he gets in at the back post, and before you know it, as if that crowd needed any lifting, Valencia were ahead. And like I say, when you go 1-0 down there, you leave yourself a lot of work to do, and it was in many ways a nightmare start. But like I said before, the lineup that Valverde chose, the lineup that we saw at Wembley, did once again come back into the game. We got control of the ball, we didn't panic in that midfield, and most of all, we did get control of the game. There were a few chances for Valencia on the break. They certainly looked a real threat when Guedes was on the pitch. I think when he actually went off with that injury, that was a massive help for us. I think if he'd been on for the full game, down that left-hand side, up against Semedo, it would have been a really big ask to keep Valencia out. But when Guedes went off, we took full control of the game. We were dominant in Valencia's half. I don't think today, though, we created enough. There wasn't as many chances as we would have expected, not from Suarez, not from Messi, but the equalising goal was absolutely wonderful. It was a work of art between those two players. It was Arthur who was involved in the build-up. He clears the pass to Messi, lays it off to him. Messi then, between the lines, get between Valencia's midfielders, which again, we didn't do enough. Kondogbia was really good in his holding role today. We struggled to get around him, but it was Messi into Suarez. Suarez with a brilliant layoff pass. There's a little 1-2 there. Messi gets the return, and he doesn't even take a touch. He's on the edge of the box, about 25 yards out from goal. No touch, and smack, straight in the bottom right-hand corner. Neto with absolute absolutely no chance. It's a wonderful finish from Lionel Messi, and at that point there, about 25 minutes gone on the clock, we've got a real chance here of going on and winning this game. And that's when it comes down to me to Ernesto Valverde, because I think the first half we were very good. We sort of grew as the game went on. We were trying to create more chances. We were starting to create some inroads. And then the second half, there was no follow-on from that. There was no increase in tempo. There was no increase in chances. It was just the same. It was a constant level, and nothing ever got better. And that's where you need your coach to make some decisions. That's where you need to have some influence from the sidelines to tilt the game in our favour. Today, we didn't have that. At the second half, it was finely poised. One decision one way or another, you could have got the win. You saw Marcelino on the Valencia bench. He brought on Rodrigo really early on. He then made another change. He's trying to tip the game in Valencia's favour. But from Valverde, there was nothing. He was immovable on the bench. There was absolutely nothing there coming from our coach to try and change the game, when it was absolutely clear that these players had given their all on Wednesday, and even in this game, as we started them again, which I agreed with, but as the game went on, you know they're going to get tired. You know they can't play with exactly the same intensity for the full 90 minutes. Surely going into this game, Ernesto Valverde knew he would be making changes. He would have to bring somebody off the bench like Dembele, like Arturo Vidal. I'm going to come on to Malcolm in a minute, who wasn't even in the squad today, which I've no idea why, but it's nothing there from Valverde today. It took 83 minutes to make a change. It has to come earlier than that. You have to do something to try to change the game, because we needed different outlets. We needed somebody like Dembele, and when you bring somebody on with 8 minutes to go, it is simply not enough time. You need to start to get into the rhythm of the game. You need to get into the rhythm of your teammates, and 8 minutes, it's not enough to do that. You've got to have more time than that to get up to speed and make a true impact. And that's why I wouldn't really slate today's performance. I think obviously when you look at the stats, you say 4 games without a win in the league, it's not looking good. But at the same time, Mestalla is a very difficult place to go. We've got out of here with a 1-1 draw, and I think we could have done a lot more, because we did have control. Valencia in that second half never really challenged our goal at all. It was there to be won, and I just felt we could have done more. We could have done more from the sidelines. We could have done more in terms of creating chances. We could have worked Neto more often, but it didn't quite happen for us on the night, and we leave ourselves now second in La Liga. We are no longer top of the league, and it's not Real Madrid ahead of us. It's not Atletico ahead of us. It is Sevilla right now, who are top of La Liga. It is an absolutely fascinating season right now. They won earlier on in the day against Celta, as did Atletico against Real Betis. And like I say, Sevilla now top of the league with 16 points from 8 games, and they are currently 1 point ahead of us in second, Atletico Madrid in third, Real Madrid in fourth, and even you look down the table, Espanyol, Alaves, Valladolid. It is so tight right now in La Liga. Every single point is vital, and I'm just not quite sure how to take this game. Is it 1 point gained, or is it 2 points dropped? That will certainly be concluded in the weeks to come. And our next game after the current international break, we come back on the Saturday, Barcelona against Sevilla at the Camp Nou. We can straight away take that top place back. We can go top of La Liga if we beat Sevilla at the Camp Nou. That's got to be our focus now and nothing else. But like I say, I want to discuss Malcolm, because I've got absolutely no idea why Valverde doesn't like him. And I genuinely believe that he doesn't like him as a person, as a player. For whatever reason, since he's come back from his injury, Valverde has left him out of squads. He's left him on the bench. He's not giving him any minutes. And I just think in today's game, you look at it, you bring on Dembele, but there wasn't really a lot of space in the game. There wasn't really a lot of space in behind that Dembele could have worked with. And I just looked at somebody like Malcolm. He's a bit of a different player. You're not really sure what you're going to get. He's somebody who could have made a difference in the final third, maybe come a bit more central, give Suarez some help, or replace Suarez entirely. But for some reason, not even on the bench, not even considered as a substitute today. And that for me is massively surprising, because he went to Valencia, he was on the plane, he went there to the stadium, and then all of a sudden Valverde says, you're not even on the bench. I don't understand that. According to Rack 1, Valverde didn't want the signing of Malcolm. The club went ahead and did it, and now Valverde seems to be punishing the club and the team really by excluding Malcolm altogether from his plans, and I'm bewildered by that, because like I say, today's game we could have done with something different, done with a change, and Malcolm nowhere to be seen. So that's just my take on the game, guys. Like I say, it's not all negative, not by any means today. For a lot of the game, we had control. It was there to be won. We got ourselves back in after that nightmare start, but we couldn't quite do enough to get ourselves that winning goal and get what would have been really a massive, massive 3 points. But look, only 8 games gone. There's plenty to play for. Things are a lot worse when you look at Real Madrid. So we are in a better situation, but we need to keep moving forward. And that game against Sevilla at the Camp Nou is massive. We have to win it. We have to take back charge of La Liga. I'll see you soon, guys. Please leave your thoughts down in the comments below. I'll see you then, but until then, as always, Vesca El Barça.